Hello, it's me. Hey y'all, you see me when you're following FYP, YT, YMCMB, AMG, DDG, blah blah blah, because it's Small House Saga. So yeah, let's get it. Vabereki, mwezi wa pili. Ndongo ya check tinga week. I have some amazing combo deals, payday deals, besties combos, wada. And I pay WhatsApp pango. That's my WhatsApp username and that's my WhatsApp number. Ondibata moboka zvinzvenyu anditka UK zvinzvenyu weekend tinenge tichitumira anditi tiri papo. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel Tanata Marimira. Now that we have all this out of the way, we end pisa. Right. So did you know kuti kune vakadzi vavana rumvumoita masmall skonzoku chimboyei ndichimbokudzai vane handitka munhu wedu wanhasi tichamuti peshi right. So peshi anotaura kuti tani inini ndakarorwa nemurume wangu handiti so murume wangu inini mukutororwa ndakaita naye ndandiri munhu yaitengesa zvinhu kuJoburg handiti vanhu vanenge vachienda kunohodha vachibva vanotengesa vachita sei ndaiita zvekutravela like across Angola, Botswana, South Africa chichi. So that's how I met my husband. Ndichiita sei ndichitengesa zvimwe zvinhu zvandatenga kuAngola ndichitengesa kuSouth Africa. Murume wangu aidriva matrucks aya atinoti magonyeti vasangana pepe nemurume wake, vatoklika and they start talking and it got to a sorry manotes ndinenge ndambokanga ovhura manotes ndienda kunakidzwa notaura. Anyway, vasangana nemurume, they started talking and eventually they became friends and eventually obviously they ended up becoming boyfriend and girlfriend and eventually they ended up becoming husband and wife. Vari husband and wife, life was going great. So as you know, varume vanodriva magonyeti vangonomboita week vasiri paden, vomboitawo 2 weeks vasiri paden, vomboitawo 3 weeks vasiri paden, munongozviwe zvichingoitika vegawo maziya masystem yacho, right? So that's what was happening. So from time to time the nigga won't be around, but everyone has this stereotype. Nana not everyone knows musantuke ana Uncle Roland, musantuke nana Ronald, musantuke right. Ndoda kuti zvinizvo munongoziva stereotype kangori associated nebasa remurume wake uyu. So unongoziva kasikirika kuti unenge wakangochilwa nemafriends ako chichi uchingoti no, my husband, my man, he's not around chichi, but your man uyu unomboziva kuti anenge achita nezveere. Usaiti ungosingazive zvinoita madrive emagonyeti, unomboone zvanenge achita pamabhodha and stuff like that. Hanzi inini because of this ndakungogara ndakangoita sei ndangovhura mi-eye kuti you know what, these people could have been onto something. I don't know if these people could be onto something. She was like, you know what? I don't see nothing wrong with the little bump and grind. She was like, I'm going to do a little bump and grind, Kali local, where my man is not around. And then she got herself a little side piece, right? She started doing what she's doing with this little side piece. And then the side piece was like, listen, I'm not enjoying being your side piece. You as a married woman, so you and I, it's done. And then she was like, okay, no worries. My days after this side piece, Amuramba, her husband came back home. Taita come back home. It just so happened kuti akangoba phone murume, and then she realizes that murume ane macontacts akawanda, and he had my numbers saved there, kuti like HURE1, HURE2, HURE Limpopo, HURE Bait Bridge, that type of thing. Doma sevranga kateta, like that's how he had actually saved the numbers with you. Oh, you go Bait Bridge, that type of thing. So that's when she was like, damn, you know what? My friends were really real about this. So, what do I do? Then the husband anombogara stay kuvangokaroma for 5 days into Vahenda. That's when she started walking around Patie, right? So at this point, let's call her my Linda, because remember, she's a married woman. At this point, she had 2 kids with her husband. So Patie, aka my Linda, mantara zvauti there was a particular time ndanga ndiri mutown ndichitengesa, so vakaramba vachita zvekutengesa, but at this point she was no longer tengesaring across the borders because she was married and she had to take care of the kids. So vangoita zvongoti vanotuma munhu, especially murume wavo tichi wozoisa zvinhu zvakati pabhazi ndizotora, so angangotengesa vari local vari muHarare, zvinhu zvavo zvichitumirwa and stuff. So mumwe musi vari kutienda kuroadport kumanya unotora chipasuri yaita sei asvike kuti vatengese zvinhu. She meets a guy anga ane Toyota cab, Toyota twin cab, Toyota Hilux twin cab, yeah, my twin cab. And then that guy's like, murukure mirakozanzi nandine masimpari big two, and then otinda pamshika shikotichi vanditakure. And then this guy's like, no mam nakira makaita memo dopina mumshika shika pinda mota pina Hilux unogara kopi chichi ndovandatodza chi baba vemuchi vemahilux kuti ndogara kopi. So we are just gonna call baba vachi Big Mike. So listen, the reason I'm talking is because it's like was revenge confessions mixed with small house saga, but it's not our version of vows revenge, you get what I mean? But I was like, I can't keep starving you just because we don't have spiritual issues dealt with. I can't do that to my people. Use my peoples, you know. So anyway, she meets Big Mike. Big Mike is like, get in the car, hop in my, Hilux, let's go. And then of our shit kwa pamba namdarava Big Mike. So anzi pamba pande gara roja, right? So then don't see pamba pay paya. And then it just so happens kuti mskana no gana ku main house akava Buddha. And then over Mureta say called the Big Mike. She just can say, wait, how do you know the Big Mike? She can say, no, a friend yakule vangu anzodzi mai vangu chichi muri sei koma yoze tishkanzi no ndatokubatsira meyana ndasanga nomutanje chikanzi serious, so that's when she says, well muskana yakazodzoka late over tondizoti he was asking about you todaro chichi, do you want him? Because at the end of the day your man's works were magonyeti and ndinozvinge chitarume magonyeti akabva udzwa the same thing chi nemukadzi wechi and then she was like, listen, maybe this is a sign, let me do things na Big Mike. She was fully aware Big Mike is married, he's married, he was working for my NGOs, and he had kids, happy marriage, angakatopiwa the full update. And then it just so happened 2 days later Big Mike novongoshkafti baged, he was like nanda also kone, and then nokona mzukuru wangu they started talking. Eventually he and Big Mike start dating. It was so serious to the extent when the husband would not be around, Big Mike would even sleep Patie and Pepe. But it started becoming a thing. Big Mike, I can't keep doing this thing. You are with your husband and then time and time again I'm not with you chichichi. So what do you want kuramba murume? She was like kuramba murume, and then she was like no, andikanzoramba murume never na tuna ichichi. She goes no, because in kana uchoda nezvangu nchikuchengeta and everything nevana vako, you need to drop this nigga. And then she was like, listen, I was so in love, I was still bad, and I was like okay cool. And then ndoparamba murume wakechi emagonyeti, then ndobva murume wegonyeti vati no wahala now, you can go now, Carol not begin, they go. And then she takes the kids, she leaves. The man keeps supporting the ex-wife and the kids, he was supporting them. And then eventually my Linda, aka Patie, was like, listen, I left my hubby for you, so it's time for you to return the favor, you need to leave your wife for me. And then Nanzi ndope kutini krikini ndopekuti the men's was like no azviite, it doesn't work like that, ndosaka kune barika revakadzi kwete barika revarume and stuff. And then she was like, listen, I'm done. And then she gets back together with her husband. She tells her husband, I'm really sorry nasinofunga because I was just like hey varume emagonyeti. And then the husband is like, no worries, come back home, I'ma give you love. And then when she gets back home, she gets into the guy's phone as well, and then she realizes kuti murume ari kutoramba achiita yaanoita. And she was like, listen, I'm back with my husband, but now ndakuzoitwa nekurod vanogumira kurod. And then a couple of weeks later Big Mike ndobva phone over sorry chichingatidana uyatidanane since yoji wakadzokera murume ndine mukadzi, let's just keep doing our watch and call it, because like I can't leave my wife and that's just a and then Patie, aka my Linda, is like, okay, cool, no wala. And then they start dating. So now this time anzishanga serious check to daro. And then zvakazoitika ndezvekuti murume akatozombogara out of Zimbabwe, anga kumbogara Mozambique, oenda ku South Africa, oenda ku Angola, and he was just around Daro, like kusaidi koko, like around trips ekudaro ko area ikoko. So aitomboita pektango naita 2 months asina kutombodzoka Zimbabwe, but he would send money every week because angari munhu every Thursday he gets paid. He would send money every week, send money. So she was never lacking kumba. And then eventually she falls pregnant, right? So she fell pregnant muna December last year, which is 2025. Ndopa akarealize utani nombo. So around the time akarealize utani nombo, the husband anga abva ku Zimbabwe 2 weeks ago. So she was like, listen, at this point andisikuziva kuti nombo ichange ya Big Mike here kana kuti yani yabalinda. So I don't know kuti chi ndichaita sei, but obviously that statement roti gombari na mwana is ndichikomba china mwana chimwana aitwa une chikomba kana wane murume haasi vechikomba anenge ari mwana wani wemurume. That's what the dimikira kana kuti tsumo means, whatever it is, but that's what it means. So she was just like, listen, I'm a pin it on my baby daddy and just tell him kuti listen dozvaitika uchiva. I just figured kuti ironakidza kanyemailinda. Anyway, ad break. We have a private live this Saturday, 4th of July. Sparks in the air like the 4th of July. Yes, it's a private live. Kana chizo tunoda nyaya uroda tuma advice tungete nyaya yetu tisingabuditsike pavanhu. Tinoya ku private live kedu. Saka nyaya yekuda nyaya ichaita kuti muite sei mutenge matickets anditika mukaenda pa profile pangu apo, and then you go apo pakanzi live for 4th of July apo chichichi, then muenda apo pakanzi zero registered, woenda sei wono register anditika. It's going to be on the 4th of July from 8:15 p.m. Normally knows it 3, 4, 5, 6 hours and stuff like that, but it's going to be fun. So make sure you register and secure your own spot for the 4th of July. And the drop is in Uchiva, that's when I realized kuti I'm pregnant. Chichi, and the husband is like, oh, that's cool. I hope chi mukomana and ito tu wakomana nemskana and nisombokupe precious to chichi. And she's like, okay, cool. And then at the same time, she's like, I can't tell Big Mike, because if I tell Big Mike, what if he pulls that card? So I'll leave your main chichi and then over and consider noise. This is in December 2025. The husband comes back for leave, full leave like Askoshanda in February 2026. And then the husband is like, chichi. So at this point, December, January, February, anga kupinda chi kuma 11-12 weeks pakadzoka murume wacho. And then the husband is like, I wonder, is it going to be a boy or a girl? Manje chi paujasvika kuma 20 weeks konenda kwanisa kuna agenda, will not be around. Ndinengenda kushanda chi this time nenda ku East Africa chi. And she's like, don't worry, I'll keep you posted up and stuff. So month resera February, murume aranga asipo. Big Mike was like, unofana utita plan utonza uri uda unotengesa udaendeta sisi because ndotofana utokona, I have to see you. If I don't see you ndo yanchikonzeresa noise pamba ipapo chichi. And then she's like, oh my gosh, ndodi. And then time and time again obodza murume ndikuenda ndodo pane zvinhu zvandodensa ku flea market pane chichi. And then she would see Big Mike here and there. That's when Big Mike realized, oh, washate oh. Nobundiani. That's when she's like, oh well, ndiye murume wangu. How sure are you kuti ndiye murume wako ukatoramba kutondiudza? I'm gonna come back huko ndanyatsofunza murume wako kuti naimi inombyenyi here chichichichi. And Big Mike was like down for the smoke. He wanted the smoke. Now let me read my notes. Sorry, Renyu, give me a minute. Right, so Pavale, Big Mike was like, I have something nice planned for you and I'm gonna send you something. And she's like, okay, Chi Jojo. Guess what? Big Mike is like, it's a surprise. And then Padem Pakashika hybrid feet, Honda feet, hybrid. Ichinzi, happy Valentine's Day. Guess who was home? Balinda was at home. He's like, what's going on here? She says, well, remember business Rana and Chita, it was booming, and I was like, listen, since I can't keep being kombi banani 3 chichi. And I know takambotara nye mota, so ndanchingoti mari yange say and ndanchita business pesa I was saving it for this car. The guy's like, moti mari. Now she doesn't know at this point. She's like, total next opins wa chichi, it was 5,000. She goes, what you mean? A hybrid Honda Fit is going for 5K. Girl, you is lying. I mean, guys, I don't know much about cars, but I know 5K for a hybrid to get to Zim from Japan. That's a hell no. Like, huh? That's when the guy's like, the math is not mathing, but it's fine. Eventually, you know how these things work. Eventually, and guess what? Balinda and another Big Mike. Balinda vakasombo phone. That's when all hell broke loose. That's when he figured my wife was having a full-blown relationship. That's when he figured Mskanangaro main house was very, very aware of this. Mskanangaro main house encouraged this. My friends encouraged, like all the evidence was there. And ndakarowa ndikanzi nombi anditombosiyo ndiyani ndakarowa akatozongondisiya kuti andiduse namapurisa and stuff like that, but hanzi ndakabikwa ndakanyarara. Hanzi wakamborowa wakanyarara zvaunonyatsonzwa ndikurowa panapa, but handisi kukwanisa kuchema because ndikachema rain rese chabva raziva kuti wavabatirwa chakati. So hanzi ndingochima tingori momba takabatidza volume and stuff like that, takakwidza volume. So this was in February. Eventually murume obva aenda obva ati inini ndichazotaura newe kana mwana azvarwa. So for now I'm not going to do anything because it looks like you got 2 baby daddies. But the baby daddies have been giving you money to take care of this child. So I'm going to remove one baby daddy from the equation. After all, a child has a right to a father, not fathers. So Big Mike would take care of everything. Kanaru wangu, toro amarikavari, pano raro. Guy was like, peace out. Dakudzokerachi, bas. He goes back to work in March. Now at this point, a few months pregnant, a few weeks pregnant, because Pagaya Murume, she was about Anga Kutono Daupinam 3. So at this point, I think Anga took 4 months. This is in March. So, with what has been happening since April, the instability that has been happening, the husband was not in South Africa. Anga Kitra like Madiraki around South Africa, not like in South Africa, like around South African borders, not in South Africa. So Antimfesi since March back in April, May, and also Babatika. And I told Big Mike Kutindoshilikitika, and Big Mike was like, okay, no wala. Big Mike says, Isa notice Pambaba, Fe Pambaba, Wava Pambaba in Indian Chakwenti a nice place. Kana Manasiri wangu tozotengere babu, but drama manje, Gatimquasimoti Ndiwango after owning Dansangana Shigdaro. So that this man, when he comes, he doesn't take advantage of you, he doesn't touch you and whatever, because Tudatanga is Ndiwango or not. She moves, she starts staying kumba kwake chichi ka nice cottage kanga katsvagirwa ikoko, and shinchiruto fire. And then eventually she starts leaning towards Big Mike. She's like, don't go home, sende kumba chichi. And then now it became a problem because Big Mike was now listening to her. He was now enjoying being with Anne Upeshi, aka my Linda. Now that's where the danger was. Eventually, Big Mike's wife found out, Hore, this is what you're doing with this woman. She found out the name of Patie. She found out the address. She found out everything. She reached out to Patie. Patie's like, siyana ineni udzaimurumi wenyu tese tutongowirirwa saka hapana chinoshamisa kuti mawirirwa indotowirirwa chaiwo chichihanzi andakavataurisira ndaudza musandipengere maimimi chichichi. And then she was like, okay, cool. She reaches out again 2 weeks later. Hey girl, and she's like, I'm one of them because like in Iniga answers to Mudoti DTC. She's like in answers to Mudoti DTC, and then she's like, just leave my man. She's like, no, I'm not gonna leave your man. So this wife reached out in May, Moswe Africa Day, 25 May, Moswe Africa Day. That's when she reached out, and she's like, what I did just so shona. So 3rd week of June, which is 2 weeks, second week of June, 2 weeks ago, Big Mike says, listen, we have to go. Kunotarisa the gender of the baby. They found out the gender of the baby. The baby is a boy. My guru, Big Mike, had only girls. He had 4 beautiful girls. 4 beautiful girls. And Scandovia Tarot when I'm command, and Big Mike is like ecstatic, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a boy. And then she also told her husband, Kuti, listen, but I know but I just want to give you a heads up. The husband is like, okay, cool. And then it just so happened, Kuti 5 days ago, this husband and then he's starting to ask vanoti how far mukadzi ari kupichichishkanza tisoziya tungoziya takazotama just after maenda chichichichichi. So Hans Big Mike has been trying to get hold of Anzan. My husband has been trying to get hold of me. No, don't worry, if you want to see vana, don't worry. Vanaendesa vana kumba kwambuya anditi kuti anona vana ikoko tikanzi pani todaziva vana kwavari kugara chichikanzi that one not a continue vana vari boy and everything. Ini ndozogona kana taziva kuti mwana ndewako here kana kuti ndewani ndewa Big Mike chichichichi, because like I can't keep going through that emotional stress here kuti nenchidzi chichichi, like I don't want to lose my pregnancy chichichi. And then the husband is like, okay, cool. So she says on the 25th of June, guys, you remember the previous month, 25 my guru reached out to her. 25th of June, she had a dream. Like 25th of June, 25th of June, 25th. Akararam saw 24, so 25 early hours of the morning. That's when she had a dream of goles vakabata mwana vakamisabanga apapa. And then when she woke up, that's when she realized she's bleeding excessively. And then she went to the doctors, and the doctors said, you are losing a lot of blood, so like we need to take care of the situation. Mind you, mwana anenga akuchi 7 months, so technically they can take the baby out and mwana iskwa NICU if need be, and stuff like that, because obviously that's premature. They do all the tests. They're like mwana aripo but ropa iri kuti tiavoide kuti tirambe tichiluza ropa. How about taitese tikuendese kupi ICU, and then everything was done, and then eventually ndobvazoendeswa kunozvara kutheatre, ubvazoendeswa kunozvara chichichi, and then ubvazvara mwana, and then mwana ubva abuda akaningirikina menobhonzo rake repaneck rasaka like anzi mwana anoita zvekurera because of that. And then she remembered dream yangu lezi yakaisa mwana banga apa, so mwana anzi akatongoramba akatongodaro mutsipa. So hanzi mwana pakaitwa matest, and then ndobva paonekwa kuti mwana asiwe husband yangu, husband webet inini ndabuda chi muequation. I'm gonna be taking care of my kids chichi kuprobha ratendeswa chichi hanzi zvatopera chi kusaid kwani kusaid kwemurume zvatopera. Ndandaiti vows revenge, because I'm like akakaona kuti murume ane zvaari kuita, and then she started doing zvaari kuita, but andinokudzai ndosaka ndakudzai kuti I didn't want to do it in that aspect, because isusu takatoda maspiritual revenge, but it's more of a small house. Ndosaka ndaiti chi small house, right? Ironakidza kanye mailinda. Anyway, at break, we have a private live this Saturday, 4th of July. Sparks in the air like the 4th of July. Yes, it's a private live. Kana uchizo tunoda nyaya uroda tuma advice tungeti tinyaya yetu tisingaburitsike pavanhu tinoya ku private live kedu. Saka nyaya yekuda nyaya ichaita kuti muite sei mutenge matickets handitya mukaenda pa profile pangu apo, and then you go apo pakanzi live for 4th of July apo chichichi, then moenda apo pakanzi zero registered woenda sei wono register handitya. It's going to be on the 4th of July from 8:15 p.m. Normally nozoita ma 3, 4, 4, 5, 6 hours and stuff like that, but it's going to be fun. So make sure you register and secure your own spot for the 4th of July. And the top is Linda.